this message is just for you. You are good enough. This is the episode for you. How do we keep that momentum going to learn our language once the honeymoon period wears off? So in the beginning, learning the basics of a language can feel genuinely intoxicating. Those moments where you first realize you can read your first words, count to 10, or you hear yourself introducing yourself in another language, they are just such magical moments. Our first sentences feel like a huge victory, and it's easy to think that if this is how we feel now at the very start of our journey, just imagine what it's going to be like when I can do even more things. Except, eventually for most people, the highs do not grow proportionately with their progress. If anything, we inevitably get immune to them. The gap widens in our mind between what we can do and what we think we should be able to do by now. We get more sort of time between each milestone, and those big, beautiful, glowy moments of dopamine buzz get fewer and farther between. And that is normal. I'm pretty sure it happens to all of us. But if we're not careful, it can lead us to resent the process or to think we're doing something wrong. So today, here are 3 tips to keep you going if the honeymoon period is starting to wear off. Number 1, recognize that it's going to take time. Learning a language, it's not that different from anything else that you need to start from scratch. You know, when you start creating podcast episodes, it takes time to build up a following of loyal listeners. When you start on your fitness journey, it takes time before you can lift those heavy weights. And with a business, those clients are not queuing out the door on your first day. With all of those things, there is a lot of time between having the idea and having the results where you need to run off your own fuel, especially in the beginning, because the stats and the metrics and the daily results are not going to motivate you. The big goals are way off. And the other funny thing here is that the time when you're running near empty, that's the time when you're the most likely to get tempted to look at people who have been doing whatever it is for way longer than you. Compare their metrics with yours, their client base with yours, or their language proficiency, and then you have drained the little fuel you've got left. You have to accept, and often not just once, you have to accept every single day that you're doing something big and that big things take time. And you have to have a whole load of tools to shut out any comparisons with what everyone else is doing or how fast you think they're going. And then number 2, focus on collecting information. Imagine you've just landed on a new planet. Your job isn't immediately to talk and act like a citizen of that planet that was born and raised there, and you couldn't, even if you wanted to. You have to spend time watching, listening, figuring out how it all works. And learning anything completely new from scratch is the same. So we have to switch off the part of the brain that tries to judge your language journey as good or bad and just focus on being in the language world and collecting data. Kind of in the same way as you might gather and use fruits in an orchard. Stockpile all your topics, your words, your grammar, and then just keep producing stuff with them in the form of tiny, low-stakes experiments. Imagine you've got yourself a smoothie maker, you collect your fruits in, fruits blended, fruits out, over and over again until you find the recipes that really work for you. speaking, writing, creating things, even if it's only with single words or very simple sentences. Your main focus is not on getting it all right there and then and producing these perfect sentences that express just everything you want and everything you're thinking. You're just getting information about how the language works, how people use it, the sorts of things people say in different situations. And you're building your momentum just by experimenting and just by using it in any way that feels right. And then number 3, figure out what's going to keep you curious and excited learning through your language. So not just studying the mechanics of the language, but ways that you're going to use it that are going to bring you something. Because the thing is, with languages or any big goal, the end result, the pinnacle, the peak of that mountain, it's going to come. But the more ambitious your goals are, the further away those end results are. And that's not a bad thing. It shouldn't discourage you. But the thing is, the end results are not close enough to be the one single thing that fuels you to get through your hardest days and that gets you out of bed every single day. So you have to figure out what's going to fuel you instead. What's going to keep the passion for the language alive in the months or even the years when you're doing the work. And it could be anything: music, movies, dance lessons in the language, religious teaching, mini projects that you set yourself, having language lessons and exchanges, books, connecting on forums about the stuff that you in your native language really care about. It really doesn't matter what it is. You just have to identify and seek out the things that will keep you doing the work and keep that dream alive while you aren't seeing the big results and the big leaps, because those are the things that will keep you going long enough to actually see the results you want. So today, and I love to leave these videos with a call to action or something practical where I can, I would love to invite you to find your fuel. Write a short list of the things that you can do to keep you going and keep you feeling like you're a whole person in your new language, the activities, the ways that you can chase your genuine interests. And if you feel like sharing them, I would love if you can leave a comment below to tell me about them. First of all, because I would love to hear from you. And secondly, your idea might be perfect to inspire someone else who isn't sure where to start. You are doing a fabulous job and this is working. Just don't underestimate how much your daily efforts are counting to that final goal. It will pay off. You just have to keep at it. Have a wonderful day and I will see you tomorrow.